How's it going? I'm here in Arequipa, Peru, which is the second largest city of Peru. However, it is much smaller than Lima, the capital of Peru, which is a sprawling metropolis of more than 15 million people. Arequipa here is only about 800,000 people, and it is a very lovely city in the Andes Mountains of southern Peru. It is not far from the coast, the Pacific Ocean, and so it is just kind of a little ways up into the Andes at about 6,000 feet, as opposed to Cusco, which is the main city near Machu Picchu. Cusco is at more than 11,000 feet. I'm heading there next, and so that is further up into the Andes. I came here in part to acclimatize to the elevation, at a lower elevation, but also just because I'd heard that it was a very nice city. And as you can see, this is a very lovely square here, and maybe you could hear some of that music playing before it's still kind of going. It is a Sunday, and so the Sunday service was just finishing up at this cathedral here. This is the Cathedral de San Francisco, and coincidentally I am from San Francisco, California. San Francisco refers to St. Francis of Assisi, Italy. So anytime you see San Francisco, basically, then that refers to St. Francis, and you see San Francisco referred to a lot in Hispanic cultures. I saw it in Mexico and Guatemala and all over the place. All right, so this video is on the subject of the law of attraction. I just thought that I would kind of give my own little take on the law of attraction and what that actually means and what the point of it is. The first thing to understand is that the law of attraction is not a New Age concept. It is oftentimes portrayed as that. It is a New Age name. It's like a new name for an age-old concept. And the age-old concept within various different spiritual traditions is quite simple and basic. It is that consciousness creates reality. That's it. This universe is a creation of a divine consciousness. We are a part of that divine consciousness, and as such, then we are co-creators of reality and this universe. Not as much as the big kahuna, divine, God, source, whatever you want to call it, but as a small piece of the collective consciousness, we are co-creating reality along with everybody else. And so the point is that our consciousness has power over reality, and in particular over our own personal individual experience of reality. And that by changing our thoughts, by changing our consciousness, then we can change our experience of reality. And I absolutely agree with this. Now, who knows how it actually works, or if it's really the way that people describe it? I mean, there certainly could be some, grandiose conceptions thrown in there of the power that we have. There's no way to know for sure. It's just a theory, it's a belief. But based on my own personal explorations of reality and consciousness, then I believe that there is some truth to this concept of the law of attraction, and that ultimately the best way to make a real change in our life, in reality as we experience it, is by shifting our consciousness first and making that the prime focus of our spiritual path, if you will, quest for truth, whatever you want to call it. That to the extent that you focus your attention on the outer world, the outer reality, exclusively, and trying to make changes out there in order to change your experience of reality, then ultimately you are going to come up short. You are going to fail, because the qualities of your consciousness, the state of your consciousness, impacts reality and how you relate with the world and with other people. And as long as you don't change that, then nothing ultimately is going to change. Things in the outer world, outer circumstances may change, temporarily or seemingly for good, but ultimately the state of your consciousness is going to draw back to you a mirror reflection of the state of your consciousness, the vibration of your personal energetic field. And so I think that there is kind of a misconception among many that the law of attraction is kind of like a magic spell or something. Like, I call on the law of attraction to manifest for me this new Mercedes-Benz that I want. And I think that there can kind of be some truth to that, in that we can manifest into our reality things that we desire based on our thoughts, based on our desires. I do believe that, but it is much more broad and all-encompassing than that, than just whatever I think about is going to show up in my reality. That's a very, very simplistic conception of how it works. And so I came up with this analogy to sort of explain how the law of attraction works. And so it is to imagine a river, and the water is the divine life force flow of energy consciousness source. And then we, as individual, or at least seemingly individual beings, are like a boulder in the river. And so how does that river interact with that boulder? The rock, the shape of the rock underneath the river there. It reacts based on pure physics. It is just, where there is resistance, it doesn't go, and where there is not resistance, then it does go. And so the river is interacting with the rock. Just there's just kind of nothing to it other than the river will flow around the rock, and the river will flow where it can go, where it can flow, and it will not flow where it cannot flow. And so our consciousness has like a shape, a configuration to it that is interacting with the divine flow of energy. And it is not something that we call upon every once in a while to make use of this law. It is that it is working 24/7. It is just always in effect, and we are always interacting with that divine life force energy through physics, but not exactly physics, because physics refers to the physical world, and so physics is the laws that govern the physical universe, whereas the laws here exist beyond the physical universe, within the physical universe, but also beyond it, and so it is a different law, a different set of physics, if you will, than the physics of the physical world. But it is simply a matter of the shape of our consciousness is either impeding, blocking, obstructing, in opposition to that divine life force energy, or it is in alignment with it, and thus channeling it through our being. And so the question then is, how can you change the shape of your consciousness in such a way that you then begin to interact with that life force energy in a different way, so that you are more in a state of alignment with it rather than in a state of opposition with it? And so it is about how can you shift your consciousness in such a way that you truly change your relationship with the divine flow of energy and start moving with it. So imagine like a rock channel in the river, such that the river flows down this little channel, as opposed to like a big flat rock that ends up making this big turbulent rapid, because it is obstructing the river so much. How can you change your consciousness in a way such that you are not in a state of resistance against that divine flow, but instead are aligned with it and flowing with it, and thus flowing through you, attracting to you the power of that divine life force energy, and utilizing it and channeling it into your reality, rather than being a blockage to it. And so that's the basic concept as I see it. And so the question then obviously is, how do you change your consciousness? And it is through your own personal effort and desire and techniques and know-how and knowledge, and coming to understand yourself and the nature of your own consciousness better, so that you are in a state of greater mastery of understanding of your own consciousness, rather than just bumbling along with no real understanding of, who you are and why you are who you are and why you experience things as you experience them, etc. And so it is a matter of seizing the reins of your life and saying, okay, I'm going to grab this bowl of my reality by the horns and shape and shift it as I can in order to change my relationship with the universe. So that's pretty much it. As to how you do that, then that is up to each individual to figure it out. But as long as you are armed with that understanding that your consciousness has power, and that you can change the shape, the vibration, the energy of your consciousness, and through doing so, then you change your relationship with the world, and your outer reality will shift as well to mirror that inner transformation. All right, there we go. Take care. Have a good one.